Here with Bridgewater State senior quarterback Stefano. Thanks for taking some time out of your bye-week schedule to come by and talk here. So senior day, it's actually going to happen. You are going to be coming out here with your family for the final time here at Swenson Field. What's that going to be like for you?
It's definitely going to be bittersweet. You know, coming out here and being able to walk out on the field with my parents one last time is definitely going to be very cool. But at the same time, you know, there's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears put into this career that I've put together in Bridgewater, between 6 years at Badgers and 4 years at Bridgewater Rainham, and now 4 years here, which is crazy to think about. It's going to be crazy. It's definitely going to be emotional, but I'm going to enjoy every second of it and just take away the good things that I can, and you know, try to finish strong.
You have two games after the senior day matchup, and they're actually pretty meaningful games: the Cranberry Bowl and potentially a MASCAC championship game against Framingham State. The fact that you have these two games taking place after a senior day, does that make the senior day moment maybe a little easier to stomach than if it was the last game of the season?
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about, but at the same time, we're so focused on just one game at a time. That's kind of been like what we've strived to do for this year, one game at a time, and take it day by day. So as much as these next three games are important, we're really looking at Plymouth State and beating them, because if we don't beat them, then those two games really don't mean much. So we're taking it one game at a time and going from there.
You mentioned 14 years playing football here in Bridgewater, 6 years with the Badgers, one of the top teams in the Bay State as far as youth football is concerned. Then you go to high school, you play for Dan Buron, close to just either side 200 wins, and then you come here to Bridgewater State to play for Joe Varia. The coaches that you've had as a player, what have they done for your football experience?
I've been blessed with some of the best coaches that I possibly could have had throughout my career, starting with Bob Lauder for my first 3 years in Badgers, and then going to Bob Fries, who was a very decorated youth football coach, and then making the jump from youth football to high school and being able to coach, in my eyes, probably the best high school coach in Massachusetts, Dan Buron. And then going on to Coach V, you know, I've just been so lucky. These guys have instilled things in me that I could never get if I didn't play football. So being lucky enough to have those guys as part of my life, and going forward, I still talk to them all the time. So I'm very lucky, you know. Those guys are some of the best guys I've ever met, and I'm very lucky.
And we talked before this interview about you maybe even potentially taking on commentary as a future here. Do you want to stick with the game of football after you're done coming up in a few weeks?
Yeah, I definitely, I mean, it's going to be a big void to fill. You know, football takes up a lot of my time, and I think completely stepping away from the game would be very weird for me to do. I definitely want to stay involved, whether it be coaching or stepping up in the booth with you guys and talking Bridgewater State football. You know, I would love to just stay involved, especially in Bridgewater. I love this community. This community has given me so much that you know, things that I'll never forget, and lessons that I'll never forget. So I would definitely love to give back to this community in any way that I can regarding football, and there's other ways too that I plan on giving back, but football is definitely big.
And I'd imagine as a football player, there's some stuff that you aren't going to miss when this is all done, and there's some stuff that you will miss. So what's one thing that you're going to miss and not miss as a football player here at BSU?
Oh, man. I'm definitely going to miss, you know, coming out here every day with the guys and the group of people that I get to enjoy this experience with. You know, I've met some people that I'll stay in touch with for the rest of my life, and some very good memories, like I've said. Some things I won't miss. As much as I love working out and stuff, you know, the 6 a.m. lifts on Mondays and Wednesdays after the weekend, I don't know. I definitely will. I don't know. There's really nothing I won't miss.
I mean, 6 a.m. is pretty early.
6 a.m. is early, but at the same time, like, you live for that stuff, you know. That's the stuff that separates, you know, good teams from not so good teams. So, I don't know. It's stuff that I won't miss. That's tough. That's a tough question. I'd have to think about that one.
So you guys started off 0-3 on the 2019 campaign, including a tough loss to WestCon, but after that, it seems like that was the turning point for this season. You went off and won 4 straight games, including a blowout win against UMass Dartmouth on homecoming. What was the big turnaround for you guys? Because it seemed like there was something that just clicked between the WestCon game and the next game after that.
One thing Coach Varia prides himself on here is getting us 2 tough out-of-conference games to start the season. I think that's been the pattern here for the last 4 years under his head coaching reign. as much as we would like to start off 2-0 with those games, it's a good thing to be able to go in and have to face some really tough competition and prepare for the MASCAC, which is a very tough, unpredictable league, as we've seen in the past. Anything can really happen. So yeah, we didn't like to start off 0-2, but at the same time, we got some great experience going against two very good out-of-conference teams. Obviously, coming into WestCon, that wasn't the outcome we were looking for. But at the end of the day, you know, we're playing hard. We're doing everything that we can to try to win football games. Yeah, you know, it definitely isn't where we want to be starting out 0-3, but we're making the best of it, I think.
Close to 400 all-purpose yards, 8 touchdowns against UMass Dartmouth. Did you have like a special bowl of Wheaties, an extra coffee? What in the world was that on Saturday for you?
Honestly, and I've said it a couple times, our offensive game plan for that game was one of the best I've ever been a part of. Coach Moyne and Coach Callahan put together some stuff that, you know, we ran an offense that we haven't been running throughout the season. We changed up some stuff, we mixed it up a little bit, and it worked. And it continued to work throughout the entire game. So as much as, you know, it's nice for me to be able to put up some stats, at the end of the day, you're only good as your coaches, your offensive line, the people making the plays, the running backs, the tight ends, the wide receivers. So yeah, it panned out for me, but at the end of the day, it was a team win, and that's all I can really say about that.
You mentioned the single game records that you had. I have some numbers here. So you're close to 800 yards from the all-time BSU passing record, 43 completions away from the BSU record, and 10 passing touchdowns away from the BSU record. You had 3 games left to go. What are these 3 games going to be like for you as a player, and obviously more importantly as a team?
The most important thing for me is our team success, 150%. Those numbers are great and all, but at the end of the day, that's not really what I'm focused on. I'm focused on going out there and winning one game at a time. And that's what our team prides ourselves on. So we're on to Plymouth, as Bill Belichick would say. And that's really all there is to it. We have one goal right now, and that's to win the league.
All right, best of luck, 3 games to go.
Thank you very much.
Have fun. Thanks for joining.